This is Jesse with Closing the Loop. Today's topic is going to be mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will actually stay in the area that they're born, right? Some people will notice that. They'll notice that when they go out into their backyard, they get bit a lot. But if they're out in their front yard, they don't get bit as much, or maybe not even at all. They're not very good flyers. They don't like to fly long distances. So keeping those things in mind, right? You can actually do a lot using natural methods to control mosquitoes, because you're not going to get rid of them. You're not going to annihilate the mosquito. Ultimately, what this video is going to address is the problem of swarming mosquitoes. That's when you walk out into your property and it just consistently, there's an area where you go out there and they're just like all over you. The first step is finding those places. They are not picky, and I'm going to show you how not picky they are. So here we are by my air conditioner. This is the spot that we determined was the problem. As you can see, I've already covered this up. This is where the condensate will come out of the air conditioner. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little angle right there. And the water, what happens, would collect in there, okay? And so the mosquitoes come into this little hole right here, and they would lay their eggs right in this little thing. They're not picky. The resolution to that was so simple. Maybe 50 cents worth of materials. This time last year, if I was standing right where I'm standing right now, the mosquitoes would be all over me. This is kind of like the perfect place for mosquitoes. You think about what they have here. They have a place to be born. Yeah, the mothers have a place to lay their eggs, and then you have a fruit-bearing tree that's an ever-bearing tree. It's constantly flowering, and the male mosquitoes, they will stay by the tree. Okay, so you have you have the male and the female mosquitoes, which take advantage of nectar, but the female mosquitoes, when they're pregnant, they need a blood meal. Okay, and then you have people. You have people that come out to the acerola bush. So they had blood, they had water, and they had nectar. What has been another thing that I've done that has been really, really helpful? Goldfish. You want to try and get a fish that will be able to handle the variation in temperature. You don't want to get a really fussy fish, so you can put them in low oxygen settings. Like water that has low oxygen, because they're able to go to the surface and basically pull oxygen out of the air. Mosquito fish, they tend to be more tolerant of heat and stuff, and it's not that big of a loss if you lose a few mosquito fish. Adding water around your property and then putting fish in it, what it's going to do is it's going to attract the females. The females are going to come onto your property, which you would think, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't want to attract female mosquitoes onto my property. But what you're doing is actually really interesting. The females are wasting their energy. They're laying their eggs into a barrel that is going to have fish in it, and the fish are going to eat it. Whether they eat them as the eggs or whether they eat them as larvae, those larvae will not survive. And so that whole generation basically vanishes. The female has just wasted her time, has wasted her energy traveling to your house, and the females will die after they lay their eggs. So she's dead. She's not going to be able to produce any more eggs. And then all those eggs that she laid are dead too. They're gone. So that's what you want to do. You want to actually attract the females onto your property, and you want them to go through that whole process. You're going to get bit from time to time, but you're not going to get swarmed. The other benefit of having the rain barrels is that you have water. And having fish in the water is really good too, because fish water with their waste in it is really, really good for plants. So you're going to have that added benefit, right? So you're going to have plenty of water, you're going to catch rainwater, you're going to save money on water because you're not going to be using the tap water to feed your plants. You're going to be using rainwater. And then you have the added benefit of having fish in it, which are going to produce different nitrates and fertilizer. for your plants. Getting a bigger picture, you're not only taking care of your mosquito problem, but you have all these other side benefits that come along with it. Please subscribe, leave comments. If you have any questions, I will get back to you. A lot of the methods that I have, you're not going to see instant results because, in nature it doesn't really happen that way. You have to develop a kind of patience. And there's a kind of faith that's involved too. You take the steps and you take the action, and then you have to wait. I'm always going to give you information that I have personally experimented with first. You will never see me post a video about a topic that I'm not entirely sure about. I see a lot of guys out there that will basically go onto other YouTube channels and they'll get information from the YouTube channels, and then they disseminate this information, and they haven't taken the time to really figure out if it even works. And so then you have all these channels that are propagating and disseminating the same crap information over and over again. And I will always do my experiments first. I will do it on my own property first, and if it works for me, then I feel comfortable sharing that information with other people.